Welcome back to the Daily Dose of Recovery. I am the hype man, Mr. J. Barnard, and today we have a phenomenal guest. Over there in the U.S. of A. Whereabouts in the U.S. of A are you again?
East Coast, baby.
East Coast, baby. This is my brother, Dino Miliotis. He has a phenomenal story. He is also the spokesperson of OpiAID. He's going to get into all about that. But first, thank you for taking the time, brother, to come on to the Daily Dose of Recovery. And thank you for being so open to share about your story. So, yeah, just crack it open a little bit about your story, some tips, tricks, and solutions as to how you are maintaining your recovery and what you are doing in your recovery to have the best version of Dino. And
sure.
Yeah, let it rip, brother.
Sure. Well, let me start with the end first, right? So the tips, which are really, really important, I think more than just my story, but look, there's getting sober and then there's the lifestyle. And there isn't one person out there that I have talked to that doesn't think like, I'll be the one who beats addiction. I'll be the guy who can have a drink socially or could do a line once in a while and I'll be okay. I haven't found somebody yet. Okay. So, obviously I went down that road too. And so the advice that I would give is when you finally wrap your head around your sobriety and you embrace it as a lifestyle, that's when you begin recovery. That is when you begin recovery. Okay.
I'm glad you started off with it's a complete lifestyle change because it has to be a complete lifestyle change. Recovery is a lifestyle. Just like our unresolved trauma led us to our mental health, led us to the addiction stuff. Our unresolved trauma was a lifestyle. We kept ourselves in that dark lifestyle, right? So once you find the lifestyle that you're talking about and what you're going to share about, you're absolutely right. That's how you get this thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, I was down last week, actually not even a week, couple days ago. I was down in Florida and there was this gal that I became friends with, and she was on day 5 and she's just like, oh, I don't know. And I mean, yeah, congratulations. But she was like, timid, like we all are, like we're stepping on eggshells because you want to be good. You don't know what to do. You think you're going to be boring and your life is over. And I'm like, you know what? This is perfect for me to hang out with you because I'm a walking, talking, living, breathing example of what life is supposed to be. And I'm telling you, it was like 3-4 days with me, which I could tire out anybody. Trust me.
I don't know.
Me and you together, I'm a little worried about already. But we'll see when I get up there. But here's the thing. She was just like, oh my God. First of all, I've never had such an action-packed day. Second of all, she discovered the wonderful world of mocktails, if that's your thing. Where you could feel normal and. Here's what I do. I have a rocks glass and I have sparkling water in the rocks glass. I say, throw a lime in there. So you feel normal. You know what I mean? Instead of them giving you a water glass and you just sit there. And so I'm just showing her that, like, talking about my sobriety to strangers, walking the walk, it just blew her mind. But this is what it takes, right? And if it takes me vocalizing it to people, even though I don't think it's important, it's the little nugget that somebody picks up that just completely turns them around. So what we're doing is really important.
Yeah, recovering out loud. And that's, the opposite of unresolved trauma is connection, right? Like people will say the opposite of addiction is connection. But if we really want to rewind that tape, it started with unresolved trauma to mental health to addiction, right? So I believe, and I have believed for a very, very long time, that recovering out loud and telling people stories is what is going to get us out of what we're doing and what is going to help people on all walks of life and showing all walks of life. And that is exactly what DDR is. That is exactly what the Empower to Recover Foundation is, sharing people's stories from all walks of life, but also pointing them in the right direction for help, right? So a little bit about Dino. What's Dino's story? What happened to Dino? I know Dino was very successful at one time.
Dino was very successful and very crazy, and still is sober. And like I said, I went down to Florida. I was in Palm Beach, and the first comment I made is, I've been here many times, but this is the first time I've been down here sober. That just kind of gives you an example of like where I was. I was gone. Okay.
Right.
So I had a wild ride. I was very successful. I'm just going to get to the punchline, but I decided to get into recovery. I went into rehab, something I thought I'd never do, in July 7th, 2020. Okay. And, like a good boy, I just kind of was a sponge and sucked up everything that they were talking about. And when I coined out, our counselor, we're all proud, we're standing up, we got our coins, and she's like, look to your left and look to your right. Almost everybody that you see won't make it, not even a year. In fact, a lot of them will overdose and some of them will die. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? I mean, like, I hate using the pun. I got, scared me sober, but that's exactly what happened.
Well, it's
I was just-
reality. It's reality.
Yeah, well, but I mean, look, 30 days is 30 days. That's a huge milestone for people, right? And then all of a sudden, when you're just like bubbling and ready to go, you're just like, bam. You know what? Most of us won't make it. Of course, me being me, I'm just like, you know what? If that's the case, I'm going to be the guy who makes it. So I get out of there. I'm ready to go, smack into the middle of a COVID lockdown. Bam. So you want to talk about isolation? Wow. Okay. I had too much time on my hands. I lost all my friends, all my family, all my associates, everything. I was alone. And I'm binge watching 456 episodes of Law and Order. I should have an honorary degree, but I didn't feel bad because I'm like, you know what? The whole world's binge watching, so I don't feel like a loser. The whole world stopped. It's okay. But after a while, I'm just like, dude, I need a life. So the demons started calling, right? In the meantime, the counselors, obviously, they from treatment, they said follow up with these psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, and stuff like that, which I did. And I'm telling them, listen, it's been like a half a year. It's been like 8 months. I feel like drinking. I feel like using. Why? Why do I feel this way? And they're like, well, tell me how you feel on a feelings chart from 1 to 10. I mean, pick the smiley face that best describes. I'm like, I don't have time for that. You understand? Here's the thing about addicts. They want to use right away. And when they say they want to stop, they want to stop. Okay. So if I'm saying I'm jonesing, if I'm saying I want to use, don't give me the touchy-feely thing and tell me, well, I'll give you some medication that may work in 2 months. I don't have 2 months. Anyway, as you could tell already, I'm not real fond of the treatment I had. Okay. But, before long, I'm taking like 8 different medications. Take this one, but you won't feel it for about 2 months. I'll also give you something for your baseline anxiety, but this won't kick in for another month. I'll give you something for your anxiety immediately, but don't take it because it's addictive. So only take it when you need it. And I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel? I don't know. Well, when was the last time you had a drink? Eight months ago. I mean, I shouldn't be feeling like this. She's like, you're right. You shouldn't. I'm like, huh? And they pay you money for this? You know what I mean? Look, I'm just being real.
Yeah,
So
no, it's real. Yeah.
For me, I could have been a statistic. I actually went and looked up what's open in COVID, and I went and found a liquor store. I got a bottle of vodka. I was searching the house for my old phone so I could hook up with some ex-drug dealer, maybe, score something in the middle of COVID, whatever. And, I cracked the bottle open, and I'm ready to take a drink, and I'm just like, this is so bad, I can't do it, right? And I'm like, I haven't prayed in a long time. I mean, I grew up religious, I guess, in a religious family, let's say. But, I'm like, I'm not a praying man. But God, if you're out there, I'm ready. I'll follow you. I'll do whatever. Just show me what I'm supposed to do. I'm not a bad guy. And the minute I said that, there was a text message on my phone from a kid that used to work at a car wash. I used to, like a big shot, used to bring all my fancy cars into a car wash just so I could watch the kids run up and say, ooh, mister, what a fancy car. Can you give me some pointers? You forget about this stuff because you're drunk all the time, right? But this text message was from one of those kids, and it said, hi, this is Car Wash Kid. I hope you remember me. I don't know what you're doing these days. I don't know where you are, but I want to let you know that I've been following your principles of success, and I've gotten 2 promotions at a real job because I left the car wash, and it'd be an honor to take you to lunch if you're in town. And I'm just like, wow, that is my sign. You guys can believe whatever you want, okay? But I call it divine intervention. I could have easily been a statistic, the ones that my counselors would rattle off, right? You guys won't make it. But I just decided at that point, look, I'm inspirational, I still got it. And maybe I've been inspiring people all my life and I just never stopped and realized it. So I have something to say and I'm going to write a book. Didn't know how to write a book, but I did. And guess what? For 8 months writing that book, I didn't have any cravings, any withdrawal, any anxiety, nothing. So 12 to 15-hour days, by the way, right? So as soon as it was published, all of a sudden this outpouring from the community, the recovery community. I'm like, what's that? There's a recovery community? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm buried in the city. So all of a sudden this beautiful community comes out and just says, oh, you touched me. I love this book. It moved me. It reminds me of it. And I'm like, wow. So all of a sudden, being me, there's no slow on me. I start writing. I start talking to people in the recovery community morning, noon, and night, because of course our disease isn't 9 to 5 conveniently. It's all the time. It's 24/7. So I'm up all hours of the day, all hours of the night, helping people, which by the way is helping me. I'm feeling good. I have purpose. So, I mean, I was so involved in these platforms that the administrators came out and they're like, who's this guy? This guy's like, so before long, when an administrator had to go on vacation or if they were off for a day or if they were sick, they would actually say to their group, and this is like 50,000, 80,000 people, I won't be around today, but if you need to reach out and talk to somebody and send a DM, send it to Dino Miliotis. I was like, wow, what an honor. I mean, do you understand that that's a big deal for me? I still have.
Yeah, I just got goosebumps when you went. Da, da, da. I was like, well, there's a shot of God.
So I was starting to do my thing and getting back in my rhythm. And by the way, I mean, I don't even know what I want to do. I didn't get that far. Like, I probably should get a job. You know what I mean? But I'm doing all this stuff. People are asking me to fly around and speak, and I started getting well known, and I'm building up this kind of grassroots following. And then somebody just said, I think there's somebody that you need to meet. I'm like, why? Who is this person? Well, let's just say you have a lot in common. I think you guys will get along. I'm like, all right, like a prima donna that I am. So
no, not you.
I sit down with this guy. It's actually the founder of OpiAID, which is the tech company that I'm now spokesperson for. And he sat down and he started telling me about the technology and what they're working on and what they've been working on for several years. And as soon as he started talking, it's not because I was smart, trust me, okay? I mean, I don't know anything about tech. However, the reason like I hear bells ringing in my head is because I'm just like, oh my God, I wish this technology existed when I was going through my stuff, my frustration with the counselors and the health professionals, and they're giving me all these pills to swallow, and I felt like a zombie. I wish I had this. So we could dispense with the pain charts and the feeling charts and the emojis that I had to describe. This thing would have taken care of everything. So here's OpiAID in just like a 30,000-foot view, right? OpiAID, this is a Galaxy watch, a smartwatch that's powered with OpiAID technology, okay? So let's rewind and just say that if I was in a treatment center that was using OpiAID technology, okay, I wouldn't have to worry about articulating how I feel. What am I feeling? If I contemplated suicide or anything like that, because your answers will vary based on your stress levels. And, if anybody who knows, if you want to use or drink, you're just not in your right mind. I can't articulate the words to the doctor. So they're going to go back to their default and they're going to go with a prescribed, like age-old prescription of like the last 40 years, averages, right? The take 2 pills, call me in the morning, one size fits all type of recovery, okay? Everybody's treated the same, for lack of a better word. With this technology and wearing this wearable device when I get in, this takes my readings, my biometric readings every 5 minutes, sends it to the OpiAID database. The database applies machine learning, sends it back to the health professional in real time. This will distinguish the difference between anxiety and withdrawal and depression. This will also measure the level of withdrawal, just like you measure the blood sugar in using a glucometer, or you measure your blood alcohol level using the the thing that you're blowing. Okay, this is precise. So it's able to allow the health professional to personalize my care.
Mm.
Okay, and
Ooh,
even if I leave,
that is groundbreaking right there. You just said
it's never been done. We're like cutting edge in the forefront. And brother, I got to tell you, there's a lot of press that's going to be coming out real soon. I'm so excited about it. The first one's coming out on Tuesday, by the way. By the time I see you, I'll be wearing a spacesuit, okay? Because that's how far we're going. But what I'm saying is that technology is here. It is our friend. And this is going to change the way we recover for decades. We're changing everything. Okay. So MAT is what's been the gold standard for the last 40 years, medically assisted treatment. And that's basically a fancy acronym for, counseling, behavioral health, and medications prescribed. The problem is they're prescribed based on the averages, historical averages. They're not prescribed by the person. You and I are different heights. You and I are different sizes. We weigh different. Yet if we go and get therapy, chances are really good that both of us will be treated the same. How is that fair? How is that possible? You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. 100%. It's not fair. And what I'm excited about is getting you to Canada and showing people what this is. That's what I'm excited. I know that. I mean, first time me and you talked, I got it within the
brother.
first.
I'm gonna bring whoever's watching. I'm bringing the heat to Canada. I'm telling you, I am so ready. I am so ready. You have no idea.
August 30th, we're in Saskatoon. We're doing Saskatoon's Battle for Recovery, and Mr. Spokesperson for the OpiAID is going to be there. He is going to bring the heat. He just brought the heat to the daily dose of recovery. I appreciate you like a brother. I love you like a brother. I thank you for taking the time today. You can check us out on www.empoweredtorecover.com. I am your host, Mr. Hype Man Jay Barnard, and this is Dino Miliotis, and we will see you next time on the Daily Dose of Recovery. Bye, Dino. Thank you.
See ya.